The New York Rangers and Chris Drury are officially cleaning house as we get some shocking details on a massive move they've made today. And it has major implications on the future of this team and what Chris Drury is planning to do with the coaching staff heading into next season. And we're going to break down all of that in this episode of Rangers Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 74% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So be sure to go down below and hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. And of course, this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers news. But let's get right into it. There's been a big question mark surrounding the New York Rangers the last little while in terms of coaching staff. We know that Chris Drury brought in Mike Sullivan, and that was a big move. And obviously, we've heard from the King, Henrik Lundqvist, and others about the move and that it is a good move. And a lot of people are feeling pretty good about that. And I think that it's going to unlock certain players like Alexi Lafreniere and all of that. But we have to talk about the rest of the coaching staff because the Rangers have made a move today, and there's a shocking report about what really went down with this move. And as reported yesterday, this is from David Pagnotta, Jeff Blashill, formerly of the Detroit Red Wings, has been hired as the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks. And there's a couple coaches staying on with the staff there, but he is being joined by former assistant coach of the New York Rangers, Michael Peca. So Michael Peca is officially moving on from the New York Rangers. But we have some other reports as it pertains to what actually went down. And as you can see here, a new report that just dropped minutes ago from Phil Kosher. And this is actually from Molly Walker on the move, Michael Peca going to Chicago. After discussions with both Peca and new Rangers head coach Mike Sullivan, according to a source, the organization felt this was the best decision for both parties. So this is not a situation where somebody was offered another position and they went for it. We've seen, league-wide, there's times assistant coaches are being offered head coaching positions and they go on to take those. That I would understand, but that is not the case here. The case is that they did not want Michael Peca to return to this coaching staff, which I think is very interesting. And we've been talking about it all year at this point, that coaching staff just was not getting it done, obviously with Peter Laviolette head manning it, of course, as the head coach. But yes, obviously Michael Peca is leaving to join the Hawks coaching staff, and sources say that the process ongoing is to fill out Mike Sullivan's coaching staff. So this is from Arthur Staple, again, building off of the original report from David Pagnotta, and that is that they are looking to build out the staff. So what's going to happen with Muse at this point? We don't know what's happening with that either. That is a huge question mark at this point in time, but Michael Peca is leaving the coaching staff, so there is a open position there, and I think there's going to be a few more open positions. I think, with everything we've seen the last couple years, and again, best of luck to Mike Peca in Chicago as well. Obviously, you can see the pun here in the tweet. Just wanted to include that, but obviously, we saw what happened last year with Peter Laviolette, and he was brought in at the same time as Michael Peca, or I should say, Michael Peca was brought in at the same time as him as a package deal. And as we know, Michael Peca is no longer with the Rangers coaching staff, of course, but he interviewed for the position again. We were told, from management that they were going to re-interview, and we still don't know what Dan Muse's status is going into next season as well. So I would imagine, this is just what I'm speculating at this point, that they are going to clean house, and it's looking like it's heading in that direction by all the reports. The one that we just broke down from Molly Walker, it looks like they're going to be cleaning house, and that, I think that's a good thing at this point, because the coaching staff from last year, the last 2 years, can't return. This team is getting younger. We know that. And obviously, I think that the coaching staff has to reflect that, not necessarily in terms of age, but I think that they have to completely rethink everything with this organization and go in a different direction and have a fresh feel for it. Because if you bring back some of the guys that were working with some of the players last year, it's just going to have the same feel. So I think tearing it down and letting Mike Sullivan bring in his own guys is actually the way to go. And again, Michael Peca, for example, is leaving. He was let go by the Rangers by all accounts. He interviewed for the position again, and they still let him go, right? So I think they're cleaning house here, and I think the Rangers are going to be better for it. But again, Michael Peca will be joining, or this tweet is from Jeff Merrick back from 2023. Michael Peca was joining Peter Laviolette, so he's only with the team for 2 years at this point. And again, I think the team needs a hard reset in that way. So this is from Balt Panarin, and he says, so what will Sullivan's coaching staff look like? The two top choices, Torts and Quinn are out of the running. Obviously, we know all the reports about John Tortorella the last little while. He is not going to be the next head coach, clearly, and not a coach with the New York Rangers. But does Dan Muse stay? Peca's clearly out already. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. Does Mike Vellucci follow Sullivan if he doesn't get a head coaching position in Vancouver? And we know that didn't happen. So is that a possibility at this point? I don't know if you want to bring everybody that was along for the ride with Mike Sullivan in Pittsburgh, especially the last couple of years, but I do think Mike Sullivan should have, the opportunity to work with Chris Drury in bringing in some of his own assistant coaches, people that he knows he's going to be able to work with, because again, it's a tough situation. These guys interviewed for the position again, and it just looks like it's not going to work out. So I thought that was very interesting, everything that came down to get today. And of course, the Post can confirm this is, this actually did go down this way, and the process to fill out the remainder of the coaching staff starts now. So we're going to have a lot of different reports and probably, stuff from Arthur Staple and Molly Walker over the next couple of days. Vince Mercogliano, of course, always on the scene, but we're going to be breaking that down because the Rangers need to fill out the coaching staff at this point because Michael Peca is gone. The last thing I wanted to mention before I wrap up here is Finland has been officially eliminated from the World Championships, and that means Juuso Parssinen, who did join Team Finland for the World Championships, has been eliminated. His tournament is done. His final stat line for the tournament was 8 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. He had 5 points in 8 games. Not bad. I know it's a different style in that tournament. It's not necessarily the Stanley Cup playoffs in terms of physicality, but nice to see a Rangers player who signed an extension already over a lot of other players that need extensions playing really well. They clearly believe in this player in the organization, and he's another guy who's going to get at least a shot under Mike Sullivan's regime. So let me know in the comments what you think of Michael Peca being let go. I think Mike Peca did some good stuff with the Rangers, but I think all of Peter Laviolette's staff, unfortunately, has to be let go. They have to go in a different direction. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.